Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Catherine Inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states and the globe and your living room. It's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? How's it going today, Joe?
Pretty good. So what's up, Geekins?
So you want ready to introduce the guest, Joe, or
Yes. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside podcast welcome to the one of the hosts of Wrestling While Black, R3.
what's up?
What's going on, gentlemen? What is going on?
How's it going?
Welcome to
Nice.
Dudes at Ringside. So if our fans aren't familiar with you and your podcast, introduce yourself.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, folks, my name is R3. My co-host, who's not with me today, his name is Scorpio Yogi. We are two Baltimoreans who are longtime wrestling fans. I've been a wrestling fan for over 25 years. He's been a wrestling fan for 30 plus years. And we have a podcast that just talks about pro wrestling from a person of color's perspective. It's not what the podcast is all about, but primarily, we know the history of, sports entertainment or pro wrestling. So we just try to bring a point of view that people may have not considered or thought about, and bring some humor into it and just have fun, man. That's basically what the podcast is about.
Okay.
So that's cool.
So normally, we ask the wrestlers who trained you. But this is the podcast month. So when did you guys start your podcast?
So we started the podcast about 3 years ago, probably ended 18, 19. So maybe 4 or 5 years ago. As an idea, I was like, man, when you make a new friend that loves a certain type of band or a certain type of sport that people may not be into, and you're like, oh, you love, let's just use an example, Band of Horses, one of my favorite bands. They'll be like, oh, you like Band of Horses? Oh, I like Band of Horses, and you just become friends. And I made friends with him at a cafe back home in Baltimore, and he was like, yo, I love pro wrestling. And I was like, yeah, you like wrestling? And then I was like, well, I want to make a podcast with a friend that likes wrestling, and let's do it. And then we, I guess COVID is when we really got it, really going fast. But we did it a couple times in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. But we really put our foot on the gas in the last year and a half and really just been consistently doing it. So, yeah, just started off with a conversation at a bakery and ended being what we are now. So, yeah.
That's insane, dude.
Because me and Metal Geek have almost the same thing, because we've been friends since college.
Nice.
And
cool.
Pretty much
Almost 20 plus. What is it, 20 plus years, Joe?
Yeah, 20 plus friends of being. I have to deal with all his bull crap. I'm the $1 million man. As I told one of the other podcasts, you don't want to get me mad. I'll just Geek's like the Andre the Giant. He'll just stand behind me and just nod his head, and then I just go snap my fingers, and he's right behind him. What did you say? He's the geek. He'll stand there going, is everything okay, sir? Is everything all right? Yes, I'm fine. Get the corns out of my feet, Virgil. Andre, get him. That's like us. So, since we've just went flying past WrestleMania, so what did you think of Mania Weekend?
Well, Mania Weekend, a lot of people, I don't know if you guys agree with this, a lot of people are wondering what. Typically, I go back, like I said, I'm an Attitude Era kid, you know what I mean? So growing up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H's and stuff. So, WrestleMania X7, X8 is like there's a certain type of build-up that you're used to. There's a certain type of energy that you're used to when you're going into WrestleMania. So I was really kind of like not knowing what to expect. But once we got there, night one was, absolutely amazing. I think they balanced expectation and they delivered entertainment. And at the end of the day, every WrestleMania is going to have its own taste and flavor, but I think it lived up to it. It was good. I was not disappointed, and I think they balanced it out. I think night one was a little bit better than night two, but overall, very entertaining. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
My thoughts were, I absolutely loved the Cody and Seth match. That was probably my favorite match of the WrestleMania weekend. Not the entire WrestleMania weekend, but WrestleMania itself. That was probably my favorite match right there, because Cody paying homage to his dad Dusty at the end with the bionic elbow. That was classic stuff right there, and that won't be, man. That I absolutely loved. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I really thought Logan Paul looked really, really good in that match with Rey Mysterio and Dominic.
Especially as a newbie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a newbie, but the thing is, you got to think about who he's working with. He's working with like a legend like Rey Mysterio, and he's working with like a vet like The Miz. So he's in good hands when he's working that match. So
without a question, I agree with you 100%.
That and the Johnny Knoxville Sami Zayn match was great as well. But overall, I think what's it called? Roman and Brock stunk the bed though.
Yeah, I think Roman got hurt. I think I saw a shoulder. They were showing some photos there. I'm not for sure, but apparently he got hurt, so probably cut short. And additionally, they were trying to insert a whole bunch of Stone Cold came back out again. The Undertaker came back out again. And but yeah, for if you're gonna say the greatest WrestleMania of all time, the greatest, biggest match of all time, then you're gonna have to really tell a story in that ring. I think they didn't. Probably because of injury, they didn't get the opportunity to sell it that way, to really do what they needed to do. It was okay, but it could have been better. I agree.
Exactly. I don't think it was their best match. I still believe their best match had to be, was it 31? I think it was.
Yeah, it's tough. Both of those guys don't have a lot of moves like that anyway. So it's kind of, you're going to have to brawl, kind of tell a better story. And again, Brock Lesnar at this point is suplexes, a little brawling, a little spear. So it's not the move sets aren't really big, and the storytelling was that much more important if that is the case. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a 6-star classic, but it's tough when you have two gentlemen who are pretty much just powerhouses.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, why I like the match from 31 is like that match was bloody. If you remember that, Matt. That was telling a great story. These two guys just going at it, pound for pound right there. Two guys beating each other up. And I think that match told a great story in the 31 match. But the 38 did not do it justice right there.
I feel that night one was good, really good. And with NXT, leading into before Mania, that made night one even better in a small way. If you think about it, guys.
Good point.
Yeah, it NXT, all the matches on the NXT roster, the match card that night were fire. You couldn't find not a good match. That ladder match, it's in a funny way. They didn't have to say it, but I think that was a little subliminal tribute to Razor. If you think about it, a ladder match so close to Mania, but they didn't announce it as the Razor Ramon Memorial match. But just to have a ladder match close to WrestleMania weekend has to be some kind of tribute to Razor.
I agree. Very subtle, yeah.
And they couldn't do it right away because it just happened, so close to Mania. So maybe next year we'll see if they could.
I heard a rumor that it was supposed to happen. So it was going around the internet a lot that the Razor Ramon Ladder Memorial was supposed to happen, but I guess maybe they couldn't get enough wrestlers to okay it. Maybe they couldn't get any get the artist to make something quick enough or something. But I still think that ladder match that NXT gave us was top shelf.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, I agree with you. And also that kid Braun Breaker, is he going to be a superstar? The question is, can WWE build multiple, like in the Attitude Era? I'm assuming you guys are just a little bit older because you do talk about like the Giant and stuff like that to me. So for me, the Attitude Era, which made it so great, is you had 6 or 7 guys that could be at the top of the card. All of them were superstars. Whereas now it's like Roman and then everyone else. You got to build like as good as Cody back. He's going to be a superstar, obviously. Bobby Lashley's good, but you're going to have to build a card of at least 1 to 5 guys that at any given time could be champion. You just can't have 1 or 2. You got to have 5 to 7.
I kind of thought they had that with Seth for a little while, but he kind of like faded a little bit. You know what I mean?
What happened with that? Yeah, Seth. I love Seth when he first beat Brock. When he beat Brock, and he's burning down. I actually prefer. I know he's a great face. He's a heel. He's great as a heel, but I actually kind of like him as kind of an edgy face, like kind of like a badass face. He's just. I don't know, but maybe people got tired of it. I don't know.
I think they really did, but then the whole thing they did wasn't it around this like right after that they did the thing with the Fiend with the Fiend, and
that's what ruined. I think that's what ruined Seth.
That which ruined his gimmick with the whole thing with the Fiend and touching people and the glove, and I'm like, what are you doing with the glove? Are you trying to make a Michael Jackson now? Like, what is this glove thing?
WWE storytelling, man. Sometimes it gets a little wonky.
Yeah, it's like you give your kid a glass of wine. Either they're gonna be falling asleep in 2 seconds, or they'll be like falling all over the place.
Yeah. It was a weird thing. The Fiend, and we haven't seen Fiend or anything recently. So, and they really put all their money on the Fiend. I mean, I think if they would have continued with him, I don't know what the backstage politics are, but he was great. I mean. If you did him kind of like a Kane type deal where he comes out, you don't have to overexpose him. But I think they overexposed him. That's what I think. The Fiend is overexposed.
Like you said, like keep his matches short, like you said, right? But,
yeah.
Because the Fiend is all about the entrance and the promos and everything like that. The wrestling, it's like you said, you keep his matches short, and that's it.
Yeah, 3 to 5 minutes, boom, 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 you're good to go, and just build him up. And that tells you a lot about Undertaker. We saw him go into the Hall of Fame. For him to be able to change his gimmick through the 30-plus years of being in the industry, from the American Badass to the Ministry of Darkness, that's hard to do. And like nowadays, to stay relevant, even like the Chris Jerichos of the world, he's able to reinvent themselves. And the Fiend, it seems like it was one note. Like, how would the Fiend be able to, like, if we gave the Fiend 30 years, would the Fiend be able to do the same thing that the Undertaker was able to do in terms of changing his gimmick and being current? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't want to intrude on it, but isn't that kind of what Bray Wyatt? Isn't that what kind of Bray Wyatt was doing with the different gimmicks that he was doing? Like, first he went for the cult leader, to then he went to the Firefly Funhouse, and then he went to the Fiend. You know what I mean? So he was evolving his gimmick.
That's true. You're right.
It was just WWE creative. It was just WWE creative was what's going on, dude, by the way. So, but anyway, it was just the WWE creative kept screwing it up for him. That's what I felt, because the Fiend was white hot, like you said, but but WWE kept screwing him up over and over and over. So how was he supposed to get over?
Exactly, that's true. It's tough. We have all those writers and stuff like that, and there's a lot of turnover in the organization year over year. It's tough. Writing is important. If they're gonna base their stuff off of writing, then maybe they I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know enough behind the scenes. But yeah, writing always seems to be, some people is really good and some people is really bad. So
yeah, totally. Imagine being that person that wrote, like, you think you wrote the best script for a wrestler, and then like they cut it at the last second, and you just feel like such garbage.
Especially you hear stories about that, how the writers are like, "Yo, I got these cool ideas," and they're like, "Nah, we're not going to do that." And it's like they have all these cool ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever hear the story about it? I actually played it for Geek on the phone when we were before a show one day. Did you know that Xavier Woods was supposed to be Papa Shango's son?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I have to find the video. I'll have to send it to you on that page. on your
Yeah,
page.
I'm glad they didn't.
Because they were like doing something, and he had the corner rolls and everything, and then they're like, "No, we're not going with this."
Nah.
Yeah, I'm
No.
glad they didn't do that. Yeah, because WWE is kind of it's cartoony. That's kind of they build characters and they go from there. I love all wrestling, all companies, but I kind of lean towards more of the AEW style, the more realism. But I definitely love WWE because I grew up on it, and I started off with WCW back in the day, like 1995 WCW. So, I guess I'm originally a WCW guy first, then a WWE guy.
Yeah. Like,
what about yourselves? What about you guys?
Geek, you go first.
I'm more of the independents. I always loved the independents. Even growing up, I loved the Ring of Honors back then, stuff like that. So that was always me at ECWs, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, ECW. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like I feel like I'm the older I'm like the older guy at the podcast. I prefer like the old schools, like the WWFs, the WCWs, the NWAs, and stuff like that. The glory days.
Yeah, the glory days.
Like I grew up going to Madison Square Garden, seeing the Kerry Barnerics and see the Warlords, and hearing Howard Finkel introduce the crowd to the Garden and stuff like that. Like, for me, like, everybody says, "Oh, go watch go watch this." I'm like, no. I used to always tell the kids when I worked in Walmart, don't go that. Go on the network and watch some old school Survivor Series. You'll get an understanding of the past of wrestling. Or go watch some old school NWA with Dusty Rhodes. And they're like, really? And they come back, man, I watched that old Dusty Rhodes match when he faced Flair. What a match. I'm like, right? like
That's true. That's true. So you guys are New Yorkers?
Yeah, I grew up in New York. I live in Pennsylvania now. Geek lives on Long Island.
Yeah.
Nice. So what is it like being like New York wrestling fans? It's a wrestling town, no doubt, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh
New York's a hard town right now for wrestling, you know? New York, because you got Manhattan, New York City. So that is the mecca right there of pro wrestling right there is New York City, because you got Madison Square Garden right there. You have Hammerstein Ballrooms right across the street. So
you got the Barclays Center.
Barclays Center.
The new Nassau Coliseum, or whatever they're calling it.
UBS
Arena. And then there's so many. If they were to bring back WrestleMania to New York again in the future, there's so many independent wrestling promotions that you can go to in the New York area. You'd leave poor.
Oh wow!
You would have. We have. Here we go. If you have a notepad close to you, make sure you write this stuff down. Victory Pro Wrestling. The New York Wrestling Connection. Outlaw. That's 3 so far.
That's Long Island. Those are all Long Island, by the way.
What's the other one?
There's a lot in New York City.
There's Hog. Hog. What's it?
House of Glory.
House of Glory. That's 4 right now. What's the other one?
Catalyst is another one.
Catalyst. My buddy is part owner of Catalyst.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Name drop.
Harry Tarjanian, that's my buddy. He's a comedian. Really hilarious guy. He's on a podcast called Man School 202. Absolutely hilarious dude. He's in New York. Harry Tarjanian. There's also, don't you guys have my buddy up there, Battle Club Pro?
Yep, that's another one. New York City, right there.
Yeah, he's really good.
The one we were watching before the show. Creative Pro.
Creative Pro.
In New York, in Long Island, they call it CAP. They don't even call it by the full name. They call it CAP. So it's Creative Pro. That's 6. Creative Pro Wrestling. Jeez. See, you come to New York for WrestleMania weekend, you're gonna have to have like the $1 Million Man's paycheck.
It's so many people things that people can do, huh? And watch.
Yeah. So many shows, and like, oh my gosh!
But the thing is, if WrestleMania does come back to New York, though, you have to remember that the thing is they try to bring the big boys over.
Yeah,
the big like the Ring of Honor, New Japan, they'll try to bring over. So New York's gonna have a lot of competition if
they'll try to bring in the younger wrestlers like the hey Harley, what's up? People like the like from my area, there's a female wrestler named Harley is gonna get the happy face Adina Steele, which is that's one of the people you should, if you're ever looking for a female wrestler to interview, Adina Steele is a rising star. She's a
Okay,
really,
cool.
what's
Okay.
that?
I say cool, yeah.
Yeah, Adina Steele, Christina Marie, those
Mhm.
two really good indie wrestlers. They're always, if you had the put
Jackson
two,
Arrow is another one.
Jackson Arrow is from
Mhm.
England. The man could throw down. Oh my God, Jackson Arrow is. Yeah, Harley understands. She got the assignment. Yeah, Jackson Arrow, if he came to America, he would blow up. The man would blow up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's so dope that you guys love independent wrestling. Like, you know, at the end of the day, these are the training grounds for a lot of the stars. And even though some organizations have their own systems, you know, whether that's the Performance Center or the Nightmare Factory, it's nice to see that independent wrestling has a place to go. You know what I mean? And that we can enjoy these folks as they hone their craft and support them, local businesses, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, the other two wrestlers I forgot to mention that are from one of the promotions by my house, PPW, that's in Pennsylvania. Rembrandt and Cosmic. Those two are really good too.
Ah, okay. How's the
Yes.
Pennsylvania indie scene? Like the same thing? A lot of wrestling?
I've been here for 13 years. I'm trying to get into it because, you know, I lived in New York all my life, and starting this podcast, that's who that girl in the chat is, Harley. She's like one of the promotions that I go that's by me, PPW. That's one that's really good. They have a YouTube channel. You should definitely check them out.
Definitely will.
PPW, there's R, I think it's R something. I have to look it up. There's one in Pittsburgh. I think it's P something. I know that. I gotta look it up. But it's funny because when I first moved to PA, I went to one independent wrestling show, and it was at a skating rink, and it was so. The only reason the show was good is because I got a chance to meet the franchise.
Ah, that's dope.
Yeah, I got a chance to pose and take a picture with the franchise in the ring. And I told the geek, he's like, "You didn't run to the ropes?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to get kicked out of the show." No.
Yeah. Now are you near Pennsylvania, closer to Philly, or Pennsylvania closer to like Harrisburg?
Harrisburg.
Okay. Because I know the area, Pottstown, Pottsville, all that.
Yeah, I'm near Strasburg.
Yeah, I know Strasburg. Yep.
I'm near like closer to Strasburg area.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because I went to one show that was at the DV High School. That one was another show, kind of like a lot of wrestlers I didn't ever heard of. The only people that I got really excited about, I got a chance to meet Lawler. And I got a chance to meet Lawler. He signed like 50% of my SmackDown games.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He signed like
dope.
I forgot like 5 or 10 of them. He signed all the covers, and he got mad, and Anvil Neidhart said, "You're gonna get mad? He's letting you sign his wrestling covers. You're gonna get mad about that?"
There's another
why was he getting mad though?
There's another promotion in Florida that's pretty good. Sorry.
Okay, I had met him. Actually, I met Jerry the King Lawler. I was on a flight to Memphis, Tennessee, and he was on my flight, which was crazy.
Yeah, the owner of Ring of Honor was on my flight. Sorry.
Yeah, it was weird. He just got really, really mad. But I didn't bother him. I was just letting him sign it. And Neidhart's like, "I know you didn't pay for my autograph, but can I sign that one?" And I was like, "Yes, Mr. Neidhart. Of course, you're a legend." I was like, "Take it. You can sign it." Yeah.
Geek, did you talk to the Ring of Honor guy on the plane or no?
No, I didn't really get to talk to him, but I was on the same plane with him. What was his name? Joe Koff. I was on the same plane as Joe Koff, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. The guy, I was on the way to WrestleMania in New Orleans. We stopped over at Baltimore, and then who was on the plane with us? It was Joe Koff. Just gets on the plane.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Who else? Have I seen any other wrestlers at the airport? No. I saw CM Punk in Miami. I went to I went to AEW Rampage down in Miami, and I was at a breakfast spot in downtown Miami, and lo and behold, the young lady I'm dating at the time, and I'm like, "Hey, that's CM Punk," and she's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "That's freaking CM Punk." And I hopped up, and I wanted to say something to him, but he had his headphones on, and he was walking by me. I didn't want to spook him, so I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna just let him walk." But it was cool to see him, like, just being out and about in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a deer. Don't startle the deer. Let him go.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And on the way back, I saw Samoa Joe, and then I saw Scorpio Sky too.
On the plane, same plane, or you just saw him in the airport?
No, I saw him on the security line. They were both on the security line, so it's like Samoa Joe's way too far ahead. I'm not going to jump. I'm not messing with Samoa Joe, but
you'll get the sleeper hold. Geek. I'll never.
No, but Scorpio Sky was like right in front of me, so I started talking with him. He was mad cool though, you know.
Wow,
he was a cool guy.
Is he a tall guy?
What? What's up?
Is he tall?
Yeah, he's a tall guy. Yeah.
He looks pretty muscular.
He's mad cool though. He's mad cool, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So he asked him for a picture, and he said, "Fine, that's cool."
Wow, that's good vibes, man.
Yeah, he is a cool guy, Scorpio Sky. You know.
It's funny when you meet wrestlers in person, you think they're gonna be total like jerks, but then you like vibe with them and get a chance to speak to them, and you're like, wow.
They're normal people. They're normal people. That's it. You know?
I got a chance to meet Rico, and he got mad at me because I was nervous. I was like really good. That was my first time actually meeting wrestlers outside the Garden, just waiting for autographs. And my hands were shaking, and he was signing in my hands, and my hands were like shaking. He's like, "Hold on, do you mind stop shaking your hand, please?" And I'm like, "Sorry, Mr. Rico." He's like, "Dude, don't call me Mr. Rico because Mr. Rico's my dad." I was like, okay. That was the same day that Randy Orton was leaving the Garden. Rico was out signing my thing, and Randy Orton speed past all of us, and he got across the street, and all of a sudden we hear Randy Orton yell, "Get the fuck off me!"
What happened?
Some fan grabbed his jacket or grabbed his arm or something like that, and Orton just went crazy.
I would be terrified if Randy Orton yelled, "Get the fuck off me!"
Yeah.
I even Rico's like, "Whoa, that's not good."
That's hilarious, dude. People are crazy.
It's like
man.
the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, I've seen. I'm from Baltimore, so of course the Ravens. Joe Flacco, who's from Jersey, he's from Jersey. He's a Jersey kid, and I saw him at the mall once, and he had his baby and everything. I was like, freaking Joe Flacco is in the mall right now, and nobody. This is right before we went to the playoffs. I told Joe, I said, "Joe, we believe in you, bro. You're going to win a Super Bowl." And lo and behold, I don't think it's because of anything that I said to him, but he did win a Super Bowl that year. And I said, "We believe in you, Joe." And he just nodded like, "Yeah, I appreciate you saying that to me." So you never know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, another wrestler that if you're ever looking for a good wrestler from the UK, Lunatrix.
Lunatrix, okay.
Oh my gosh, Geek.
Yeah.
Am I right? Lunatrix.
Right.
She's the only female wrestler in her promotion in England. They're Outcast.
Outcast, yeah.
Yeah, Outcast Pro Wrestling. They actually have a Twitch channel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they do shows. Oh, sorry about that. What was that?
No, you're good. You're good. No, I was going to ask you a question. So you guys met in college. What were you guys studying? Like,
I was doing
doing college radio, right?
I that was one of my things I did on the fun side, Geek.
Yeah.
Well, I studied retail, how to work. I had to work in like a grocery store and stuff like that. How to work in there's certain ways to work in retail and how to. That was my major, retail, like working in a grocery, retail. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. Retail management type deal.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. And you guys just instantly clicked.
Yeah.
It took a while because he likes the independent wrestling and he wanted to show me. The first time we started hanging out, he's like, "Oh, I want to watch your independent wrestling videos." And he's like, "Oh, me see you want to watch my independent wrestling?" And I'm like, I was still on that let's watch WrestleMania, let's watch the old SummerSlams for '91 kind of thing in my head. I'm like, what's independent wrestling? I never heard of this dinosaur. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, like you can't. I came in his room. He's like, you want a soda? Sure, let's watch Ring of Honor. I'm like, well, what's Ring of Honor? He's like, you'll see. And he popped in the tape. And the first match he shows me, I think it was Punk versus Joe, right? Or was it some kind of match? What match?
No. We saw Samoa Joe versus Punk.
Oh, what match? I can't remember you showed me some.
It must have, I think it might have been Paul London versus Michael Shane. Because I remember you telling me a while back, you were saying, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan. I'm like, Shawn Michaels trained this guy.
Oh wow!
Remember Michael Shane? Do you remember Michael Shane, Joe? Or
I remember Michael Shane.
Yeah. So back in the day, Shawn Michaels trained Michael Shane, and he was exactly like Shawn. He did the super kick. He had the same tights and everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was like Shawn's size.
The first match me and Geek ever went to a show was a Ring of Honor show, and we went to see CM Punk versus Samoa Joe.
Wow! Was this in Philly?
This was in Jersey.
It was in Jersey.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. Okay, yeah, because Ring of Honor is a Baltimore company, so or it was. I don't know what they're gonna do next in terms of like location, but that's so dope. You guys got to see two great workers, arguably some of the greatest workers of all time in terms of and technicians too, of all time. That's dope that you guys get to see that in person. How was it?
Oh my gosh, that entrance! Punk had that. What was it, Geek? The longest entrance ever.
AFI Mr. Crania. Awesome. Gives you chills down your spine when he comes out, dude. Right?
Oh wow. Okay. Super dope.
I can only imagine what it was like for him in Orlando when he came out to Miss Crania by AFI, because man, you had chills on your spine when he came out to that song in Jersey. I can only imagine what it was like in Orlando.
Wow.
For the nostalgia.
And that was the same day I met Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Really? How was that?
Oh my gosh. That was right around the time when he just got his jaw cancer. Was it throat cancer? Throat cancer.
Yeah, throat cancer, yeah.
And I always, as I said, I love playing the WWE games, and I told him I was gonna give him the money right after we met, and I was like, he said, well, what's your name, kid? I'm like, my name is Joseph Ortiz. And I was so nervous. I splurted out my WWE 2K, my SmackDown character name. My name is Kid Crazy, Mr. Heenan. And he's like, kind of guy gets named Kid Crazy? Is your name first name Kid and the last name Crazy? What was your mom thinking when she named you Kid? And I was like, no, my name is Joe. And he was like, oh, okay, now I got real names now. Really, Joe. How'd you say Kid Crazy? I'm like, oh, that's the name I always use in the wrestling games. He goes,
oh yeah.
Oh,
what's your favorite wrestling game ever? Like, what's your version that you prefer?
Oof, my favorite wrestling game of all time has to be WrestleMania 2000.
No Mercy.
On N64.
Oh yeah.
No Mercy for me. No Mercy has to be the best game ever.
If we could like nowadays, if we could get a videotapes of me and Geek playing SmackDown, oh my gosh, it would get thousands of views. Like our matches.
Really?
Oh my god, our matches. See, like the new SmackDown game now, they let you do the stars in the top of the screen. We would have 6 stars, 7 stars in Mount. What's his name? All I know is
Meltzer.
No, we would have 7 stars. Meltzer would be like 7 stars for these guys.
No, actually, Joe. No offense, Joe. You say 7 stars, but I think it'd be 6 stars because we're in New York. If it was 7 stars, if it was in the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, Tokyo. Yeah. and it was a bloody match too. It wasn't like a regular match. It was like normally everybody's matches in WWE, they're not bleeding. It's just them fighting, and their heads are red, but they don't make each other bleed. We were bloody. We looked like Shawn Michaels in that WrestleMania 20 match. We were bloody to the point that we were at the middle of the ring. We were punching each other like that random boom, 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 punch, like everybody does. We're in the middle of the ring. By the time I'd punch him, his character would get dizzy. He'd punch me, my character would get dizzy. We were just sitting there, and so at one point, we both tried to push the X, and both our characters were like, do you still want to do this?
Yeah. What wrestlers did you guys use?
We made ourselves.
Okay, so you use your own guys.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
that's
cool.
right. We created ourselves, and then we had all these matches. Then our friends would be like, "Guys, you done yet? Come on, it's dinner
Yeah.
time."
Oh my god, we would. You don't even know our three. Like me and Geek would. We would go from breakfast time, for breakfast, then go back to the dorm, and we would play all the way till dinner time. Same match.
Good times, man. That's
Oh
super
my
dope.
gosh,
That's
so
super
much
cool.
fun. Like memories, man. Like the SmackDowns. Geek has not got a chance to actually fully play this new SmackDown yet. He has it on his laptop,
Yeah.
but he hasn't played it. Have you played
Oh,
the
do
new
you have
game?
SmackDown on your laptop?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, it's a website called. Do you ever hear of Steam?
Yeah, I like Steam. Yeah, so you have it in Steam. You can do that.
Yeah, you can download on Steam.
What type of laptop do you have?
What's that? Asus?
I got an HP. Huh.
Yeah.
And you pay like $20 a month or something like that.
No, Steam's free.
What? So do you have to buy the? So how do you get the game then? How does that work?
So you buy the game off the. So Steam works two ways. You can either buy the physical, like the digital game, or you could have like a subscription service and just pay through the subscription service and buy.
I would do that on my laptop, no doubt. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, do you do it on Steam too, or no?
No, I play on the actual system, but like I always joke and say me and Geek need to start another Twitch channel to wrestling with the wrestlers or have our own thing we could play against each other. We still could. We would have to set the match up and he'd put it on Twitch. Hey, if we ever want to play and you want to get Geek gets controller, let's do a match on Twitch. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Okay, nice, man. Super dope.
So wait, who has been some of your favorite wrestlers growing up, and who is your current favorite wrestler? You'd say?
Oh yeah, growing up, Bam Bam Bigelow was my first favorite wrestler as a kid. I remember I was like 5 years old. I just remember saying Bam Bam Bigelow, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bam Bam Bigelow as a kid. And then as I got older, let's see, Sting. And then from Sting, The Rock, who was my by far favorite during the Attitude Era. And then as we get into the Ruthless Aggression, I love, APA, I mean, there's some, all the ones that everyone loves, but primarily individual solo guys. I'm going to say Bam Bam Bigelow, Sting, The Rock, and then Booker T, obviously. And then you got, in the new era, let's see, currently John Moxley is my favorite. I just love John Moxley. I love his passion. I love his story. I love his grit. I love what he's been through and how he's turned his life around. And I just love the way he does. He's the reason why I love AEW so much. And then in a WWE, at this point in time, I love Kofi. I mean, you got to say, Cody Rhodes, and
Cody.
So yeah. Right now in WWE currently, like the reason I would watch would be Bianca Belair, Cody, and that's pretty much it. Cody and Bianca Belair, yeah, and Bobby Lashley. Yeah, what about you guys?
Yeah, me and Joe were actually at WrestleMania when Coffee won the belt.
Oh,
what?
God.
You at Coffee Mania?
Go Coffee
we were
Mania.
there.
Over there.
See, you're gonna laugh. Get the go. I don't know if it's on the Dudes at Ringside page. It's maybe on mine, Joe Panther the third page. I did a reaction to Nkopi as he won the title. It was perfect. You're gonna laugh. Before the pin, it was like a kick out. So I should have kept that in the video and then added it to it. It was like 1, 2, and then I stopped the video. My face was red because of the lighting, but it was hilarious. Yeah. Geeks in the video, the mods in the video. My dad drops the F-bomb. Wait, what did he say? God damn it! He says something. God damn it, bitch! I'm like, no, Dad.
The flag, no.
So I've never been to a WrestleMania. What were the tickets prices like when you guys went?
That's steep.
You talking like 500?
Well, this year was 500, but I'm saying a couple of hundred,
It was like 100 and something because it was in New Jersey. So for us, we got the special ticket because we wanted to have a memory forever. I still have my ticket. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh,
I got that fun, fancy
the fireworks.
With the fireworks.
Oh, that's so cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. I have two there, but the
Wow.
other one flopped behind the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That's
look at that.
cool.
That's something you can never, ever, Chris Jericho style, ever forget again. Like, cause that's before me. That was before Dudes at Ringside. That was just me and Geek before Geek have our memory. Like he wanted to start the podcast around that time, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing the podcast.
I want to do a lot longer than that, maybe like 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Wow.
Joe was the ones that's like, you know what?
And I started watching this podcast about toy collecting called Yes Have Some.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, these people look like they're having lots of fun with each other. They make fun of each other. They joke with each other. They're really real best friends. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this. Yeah, I'll do a podcast.
No doubt. And look at you now. Well, you guys have quite the following. You guys are just doing wonderful things. You guys reached out to me, and I thought the energy was cool. You guys just seem like some cool dudes. And I was like, the fact that people care about like wrestling while black, obviously the title, people hear, they see black, they're like, I was probably only talking about black stuff. But it's like, no, I want to bring people into the, and have that conversation with unique and interesting people. And the fact that you guys even cared to reach out and want to partner up, that means a lot, man, because I put in a lot of time and energy in trying to make the content, and me and my co-hosts are trying to make the content interesting enough and intriguing enough, and that way, so that people want to listen to it. And so it's so dope that you guys can even consider us to come onto your platform. It means a lot. So thank you for inviting me on. That means a lot.
No problem.
Oh, no problem. Because it's podcast month, and we want to help everybody get their podcast out there in the environment, man. Like right now, you never know. Tomorrow, somebody from England could be listening to you guys and trying to follow you guys on somewhere on social media right now.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I'm so humbled to do that, man. Because
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. You're good.
No, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, brother, I don't have nothing to say. Go ahead.
No, continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it's just really cool just to be on your platform. Like you said, you never know where it'll end up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, like, crap, I lost my train of thought now. But Rutledge is right.
And I'm supposed to be the old man, R3. You hear this? He's supposed to be the young Marty Fly, and I'm supposed to be the bumbling, stumbling Jack Brown. Well, it's funny. One of the things, like, people have asked is like, well,
I'm just saying that. I was just gonna say that since everything is just oversaturated now, that it's good that all the podcasts are actually working together to help us all get discovered. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Like, my thing is, if me and Geek got discovered tomorrow, we wouldn't just do like Daffy Duck seeing the pearl in the clamshell, like mine. I would say, we want this, but you guys should also talk to Wrestling While Black. You should talk to the Dirty Heels. You should talk. I would be blabbing my mouth talk about ourselves. And then saying, talk to Wrestling While Black, talk to the Dirty Heels, talk to everybody that we are in our little cocoon.
According to words, Tom Clark.
Clark, talk to the
Peaches and Power Bombs.
Talk to Peaches and I said the Peaches. Peaches and Power Bomb. Talk to everybody, because we all have this little piece of this rock called podcast lane. Like we got known because of the Dirty Heels. Nobody would have known who we were.
Yeah.
Heels brought us in. They came on our podcast, and then they started telling people, man, you should talk to the dudes at Ringside, man. They're cool dudes. They're good people.
Definitely, I agree. You're a really cool guy. Yeah, man. And that's the good thing about wrestling. It brings us all together. You guys are New Yorkers. I'm a Marylander. And we're talking pro wrestling. We're from different age groups and stuff like that. And that's the beautiful thing about wrestling. My dad has been a wrestling fan since the 1960s. You know what I mean? He grew up with Bruno Sammartino. I've seen my dad tear up talking about watching Bruno Sammartino. My dad, who's a 70-year-old dude, and he's a blue-collar plumber type guy. And I see my dad tear up about, like, Bruno Sammartino. It made me want to go watch his matches. And I was like, yo, you're right. And, like, at this age, I mean, we're talking 40 years later, he's still, like, he felt like it was so real to him. And it really touched him. Like, That's so dope. You know what I mean?
You should later on. Does your dad still watch wrestling or like?
Kind of intermittently. I think he doesn't. He's one of. I mean, he's 70, so it's like it's totally different than when he grew up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he keeps in touch, but he's not. He's not like. He's just being an old dude. He just does old dude stuff.
Well, ask him. Does he remember a wrestler named Jose Quinones?
I'll ask him. Jose Quinones. Okay.
That's my grandfather.
Really?
So who would you say is today's Bruno Sammartino?
I mean, I guess you would say. Wouldn't you say Roman Reigns? I guess because he holds the title so long. He's like the guy.
Yeah,
What would you
I
guys
would
say?
say the same thing. Yeah, totally.
I would say that, and I would think. I know I'm going to get flack for this because I'm such a New Japan guy. I say Okada.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. No, Okada's a beast. I mean, I actually watched some New Japan, and I was like, "Yo, this is dope!" Like they got this one dude. He's like he dresses like a military paramilitary guy. He's like, I think he's Samoan or something like that. I was watching like the Cup or something,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like beating the absolute dog crap out of somebody. I'm like, "Yo, this is fantastic."
Oh, Fale. We're talking about Fale, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like he's like a vigilante type guy.
Fale is really tall. He's
Yeah.
I got really short hair, like almost like a Caesar cut, like a short cut, right?
I don't remember his hair. I just remember he was a big, tall, like Samoan type dude.
Yeah, that's Fale.
Fale, yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also
like,
on
this
TikTok.
is
He's hilarious.
Oh, really?
What, you follow him, Joe, or no?
I you know it's when you follow someone and then their videos don't pop up on your
though.
thing anymore and you think they follow you or they blocked you. like did he block you?
No, but Fale, she's the man on TikTok because like he doesn't say fuck him. He goes fuck him.
Maybe that's why he disappeared. Maybe they blocked his account.
Fuck him.
You know, TikTok is you show something and they're like, gotta go. Boom. Shadow ban.
Oh, TikTok, yeah. I just refuse to get TikTok. I mean, I don't like people that dance for TikTok. I like when I throw a shoot at them. If I saw someone dancing in the middle of a road doing a TikTok, I would throw a shoot at them.
Only reason I wanted a TikTok is because I was doing my funny Ghostbusters videos, and then I started to change it to Dudes at Ringside, and now all the promos we get from the wrestlers, they go right on TikTok.
Ah, okay. I like that. That's dope. Now, when I originally saw you, Joe, I thought you were like a firefighter. A lot of my buddies that are firefighters, they have like the mustache that you have.
Well, the mustache is a family. All the men in my dad's on my dad's side, my uncle, both my uncles, they all have mustaches. My dad's former law enforcement, so the mustache comes with the family DNA, I guess.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, and that's super dope. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that part of me. You said Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island. Yeah.
Firefighters and cops up there, right?
Yeah, like he worked in the city. He was a city cop, so like, and I had a smaller mustache, as you can see in the logo, and I'm like, I forgot to shave this side, and my dad's like, you know, there's like the ends of your mustache are they're down to the bottom by your jaw now, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna let it grow.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm. Let it go.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Oh, you know, we both didn't get a chance to say. I didn't. But you said your favorite wrestler, Geek, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't. No, I didn't say. I didn't get to say it actually.
Your turn.
Yeah.
You go, Joe. I cut you off.
My favorite wrestler growing up, I think, is everybody's. I was a fan of Hogan because it's Hogan. The Undertaker because he's so dark and creepy. The Sting with the cool jacket. My favorite heel of all time, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, respect.
And it's funny, I liked him when he became a face, even though I was mad as hell he was a face now. But just to see Kurt Hennig growing up and getting a chance to see a man like Kurt Hennig, and like just to know everybody go, oh, you're perfect. No, you're not. Kurt Hennig's perfect. I used to tell the kids in school, I'm perfect. No, you're not. Kurt Hennig's Mr. Perfect's perfect. No, you're not.
Yeah. So my favorite growing up was obviously, Joe hates me for this one. It was always Triple H.
Oh, okay. He was a mega heel, a great mega heel.
Oh God.
No, he's probably one. Well, Joe's gonna hate me. He's probably one of my favorite heels of all time, and Joe's
Badass, man.
giving
I
me
used to
that
do the water thing. We all did the water thing. Like I did it to my sister one time. I was walking into the kitchen, had a bottle of water, and I just like spit it up in the air.
And I would be making fun of Geek if I was there if he did that. Like Geek,
He's like, why do you like this guy so much? He's such an asshole. He's like, yeah. I'm like, well.
And then I pause and go, Geek, you're just like him. Wow.
I used to do a Triple H thing with soda too. Like in my like the house floors would be sticky, so I would just take some ginger ale and I would just.
The mod would be so mad at him if he did that. Are you crazy? What are you doing?
Okay, now I gotta go clean it up.
Gotta go mop it up now. No.
I mean, they don't make mega heels like that anymore. I think a lot of people try to be as badass as Triple H, but that dude had he personified. And he was just so I hated him so much, but then I loved him. I hated him because he was so good and he always got his way. But then at the same time, like, damn, he is
even the backstage politics you hated him for. That's why. That's another reason why he was so good, because of backstage politics. Like, oh, he married the boss's daughter. That's why he gets all everything. But it's like, yeah, but he's doing his job.
Yeah,
he's making the company money. So,
oh yeah, if Kenny Omega could tap into that mega heel type mentality, I think he's going to be a face when he comes back, to be honest. But I think if Kenny Omega can figure out a way to become a mega heel, I think that would, because arguably one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I figured if he can figure out a way to tap into that, you know what I mean?
There's only one way to do that.
How?
He has to marry Tony's daughter.
Yeah, when he has a daughter, yeah. Well, MJF is a man.
Triple H's like, Stephanie, I'm getting married again, and you're still my wife, but I'm gonna get married to another woman. Just don't get mad. I don't know. I personally think Stephanie looks like she'd be really mad. She'd be like, I don't know why it sounds mean. I like, if Stephanie, if you're watching this, please don't kill me. But she looks like she'd be a major Karen.
I don't think so.
I love Stephanie, but I don't know. It looks like she'd be the type of person. I said croutons on my salad. These are mushy. These aren't cream. These aren't. I don't know. She looks like a sweetheart, like when she does like WWE promotional stuff. But I don't know. I work in retail. I don't want to deal with a Karen. No.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, I have a funny story for you, but I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
But definitely, she got a sweetness to her when she played that character really well. I mean, the whole McMahon family saga in the late '90s, early 2000s was amazing. It's so interesting to see people who aren't actors or pro wrestlers really be able to perform at that level. You know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Geek, you ready to go? Or
I have one more question, and this is a good one. A couple more. Who's your favorite food?
Personally, pizza. I love pizza, man.
You can really hang out with the dudes. We love pizza.
Hey, I gotta come to New York and get some of that good pizza, man.
That's good.
If you come to New York, let us know when you're here. If I'm on Long Island, we'll bring you to a really good place that me and Geek know.
Both of you dudes.
Let's do it. Yeah, I love pizza. I love New York like style with like the cheese really dripping the oil, just yeah.
If they have garlic sauce, like the garlic like liquid sauce, you could get it in a cup and like put it on the pizza like that. That's good too.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I would have to take like lactose intolerant pill, but it'd be worth it.
Jeez. Oh no, we would have to drive with the windows on. Open Geek.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a bomb on you guys, man. Yeah.
No.
Oh no, the windows are broken. The windows are broken. Joe,
so where could people find you in your podcast?
Yeah, man, Wrestling While Black. We're on all major platforms. We're on Anchor. They distribute it to Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, everywhere. So I would say primarily Apple, Spotify, and go to our IG, WWB Podcast. On Instagram, look it up, the Wrestling While Black podcast on Instagram. So yeah, thank you guys so much for letting me come on and get to know you cool guys. I hope to meet you in person one day too, like an indie show or something.
Oh,
sounds good.
You should definitely try to come to Long Island when they do a Victory Pro show.
Hell yeah, man. I love the energy of New York. I love New Yorkers. I think you guys are just some of the most unique people on the planet. There's a guy that I follow. He's a comedian. He's not a comedian. He reviews food. His name is Cuz, he's got like glasses, and he's got he's like a funny Italian guy. He always does food reviews, and he's like basically a salad, and he tells all these funny jokes about like just like food and stuff. I think it's calls himself Coos. He's a really cool guy.
It sounds like my phone when it tries to talk and says "cuz." Coos.
Coos. Cool. Yeah. He's a really cool guy, man. But again, thanks for letting me come on, gentlemen.
No problem.
So, I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther the Third, and
R3.
we will see you in the next one.